Welcome to another episode of Infinitenature Podcast. I'm your host, Latoya, and today I am discussing how I define my vegan or plant-based journey. Hello, everyone. This is Latoya of Infinite Nature, and I am back with another podcast episode for you. And today I wanted to talk about me defining my own plant-based vegan journey. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic is because recently I made a video called "What is Raw Vegan?" And the reason why I made the video, the reason why I made that video was because I was planning on hosting a 5-day raw vegan challenge for the fall equinox, which already passed. It was from September the 17th to the 21st, and anyone that was a part of the challenge would have broken their fast on the 22nd of September, which was fall equinox. Or some people may have started later, so they broke it at a different time. But the whole purpose of the video was just to give a basic meaning of the raw vegan experience. My raw vegan experience, and what raw vegan was to me, right? So somebody commented on that video, and everybody has the right to their own opinions and how they feel. But my issue wasn't them commenting and saying their perspective. My issue was this person felt the need to educate me or correct me on what vegan was, and stating that, vegan is not about the diet, it's about the animals and this, that, and the third. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. We have a militant vegan, we have a dogmatic vegan. And I said, this is part of the reason why people get turned off to some vegans that are so militant and dogmatic when it comes to it. And another thing is, when you have those vegans that seem to be more passionate about animals, but when it talks about other forms of social justice, they seem to be crickets or seem to be, tone deaf and things of that nature. And I just picked up on that from this person. And I was just like, oh boy, I'm not going to go back and forth with them. But I did let them know that this, are you trying to debate with me? This is not the point of this video. And, this is the reason why people get turned off to vegans and veganism, because of things like this. Because everybody has their own reasons why they want to go plant-based. Some people may really be battling some form of illness or something, and they're trying to find they're doing whatever it takes to heal themselves. Some people may just be curious. Some people may really have a passion for animals and decide they're going to become vegan. Some people really just want to get their health together. Some of it may be a combination. Some of it may be for the environment. People have their different reasonings why they decide they want to go plant-based. You know what I mean? And a person has a right to define it in the way that they want to. And just because somebody is explaining it in the way they want to, it doesn't mean that they're not aware of certain terms and where it comes from and this and that nature. And to be quite frank and honest with you, this term is not that old, The term veganism is younger than my grandparents, and I'm not that old. It was coined in 1944. It's not that old. Do you know that people have been living this way? There's been many people that have been living this way before then. Don't get caught up in labels and titles and things. And the only reason why I use these terms, like vegan and veganism, is because people tend to recognize that term. I prefer plant-based because to me it's more than just being vegan. It's a spiritual thing for me. It's an ancestral thing for me, And you have to understand, people learn about the plant-based lifestyle from different teachers or different, people who have different books, and people who have just a passion for it, The people that I studied are people who are melanated, people who look like me, People like Dr. Africa, Queen Afua, one of my mentors, Lisa Marie Goodson, or Nubia I, as she used to be called. I'm not sure if she still wants to be called that, but she has a YouTube channel called the Blackberry Beauty Academy. She might have changed the name of it a little bit, but I know she has a couple of channels. But that's the person that really got me interested in eating raw vegan. When I decided to go plant-based 8 years ago, I started seeing her videos, and she was raw vegan, and I knew that I was curious about that and that I wanted to try it out one day. I didn't know that when I eventually tried it out 3 years into my plant-based diet that it will turn into 5 years of eating raw vegan, but that's what happened. But I point up this video is to say that you determine your plant-based journey. You determine your vegan journey, whatever you want to call it. It's yours. And don't let nobody ever try to tell you anything different. And that's the point of this podcast. I wanted to get that off my chest because I'm like, it just reminds me of the importance of Black representation when it comes to the plant-based way of being and doing, because we have been doing it for a very long time, eating this way. The ancestors have eaten this way for a very long time. And I don't want to get it long-winded and get into the details of that, but this is more to is not just about the animals for me. Even though there was a story that was associated with animals that got me curious about eating plant-based. It was in relation to an animal, and that we do not know how, we don't ever think about how these animals get on our plate. But there's energy that carries that. That really stood out to me and planted a seed in my mind to want to, look into becoming plant-based. And a year later, I became plant-based. I wrote it down and it happened. That's the power of writing your goals and your intentions down. Eventually it will happen if you believe it. But that was the whole point of this podcast, because I just want people to know that if you are a militant, dogmatic, vegan, or one of those people that only concern yourself with animals, but when it comes to social injustices and racial things, you are crickets, or you're ignorant, you're tone deaf and all of that, I'm not the channel for you. Don't go back and forth with me, because you're going to be getting crickets. When I say, oh, okay, that means I ain't got time to be going back and forth with you. Okay? But that's all that I wanted to talk about on this podcast, is that you define your journey of regardless of what it is. You define your own journey, and don't let nobody dictate that or make you feel a certain way because of that, and that don't get caught up in titles and in names, because like I said, that word vegan ain't that old. 1944. My grandparents are older than that. So with that being said, I would love for you to stay tuned and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Infinite Nature, or you can keep up with me on social media at Instagram at Infinite Nature #1, Twitter at Infinite Nature #1, Tumblr Infinite Nature, or Facebook Infinite Nature. And stay tuned for more podcasts and more videos on YouTube. You guys have a great day.